it's easier, you can.
And then translate it there?
Yeah, I think it's easier. She kind of reads it into a recording and then she plays it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's works for you, but.
But today's the last day anyway, right?
Today's the last day, but we're going to do this 7-8 days again.
Okay.
We're going to do it again in 1 week. So we'll start on Sunday. And then we'll go 8 days during the kind of, I think it's going to be just before the convention. So we can bring 10 people. Like my goal is to have everybody bring 10 people to the convention, but you could actually do personal development before and be totally ready.
Okay. I think I have a way to do it so it's automated.
Oh, wow. That would be awesome.
So do you need me to tell everyone to go ahead and go into translation?
Yes, please.
Kính chào quý vị, hôm nay là mình Chủ nhật, hôm nay mình được học ngày thứ 9 bài Tony Robbins. Ai mà muốn nghe dịch tiếng Việt thì bấm 3 chấm số ở dưới và ấy lá cờ tiếng Việt để nghe dịch tiếng Việt. Cảm ơn quý vị. Okay.
And then we gotta do Laura too.
Bueno, muy buenas tardes, muy buenos días a todos, ¿cómo estáis? Espero que súper bien. Hoy estamos en el día 8, último día de esta saga de Tony Robbins, así que en unos breves segundos vais a tener la opción abajo a la derecha con los 3 puntitos de ir a la sala de traducción y vais a poder encontrar en la bandera española todo traducido al español y en la bandera francesa todo traducido al vietnamita.
We're doing the flag still, right? Or are we gonna try Vietnamese?
No, let's just stay with the French flag until everybody gets updated. Yeah.
Okay. All right. They're in, Alan. I'm going to do it from my computer, so the sound should be better. If you want me to do it, or you want to do it?
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Aloha, everybody. Well, we are on day 10 or day 8, depending how you're counting. Tony Robbins counts the weekends as like nothing. So 7, day 5, which is Friday, 6 and 7 were all together. So this is actually day 8. This is actually day 8. But Tony calls this day 10. Anyway, good morning, everyone. We are here to kind of finalize all of our learnings from Tony Robbins. And just before we begin our class today, I know there was a lot of homework yesterday. Making that chart, I mean, that could take a week, really. I mean, that is a very strong process. So I just want to make sure that we take a few minutes this morning just to review yesterday a little bit and to give ourselves some time to think about and kind of understand, you know, the process of you know, what is the mental way to change your states, your mental way to change your states. So the first part of this is, you know, to start to write down words that basically are things you're moving towards. And so look at, you know, your list of words of things you're moving towards: success, adventure, love, or outrageousness, security, happiness, intelligence. And once you get that list of words that you think kind of represent what you move towards, what are your number one things that you motivate you or that you want to move towards? What are the things that really you value the most? It's critical that you identify that and the order that it's it sits, because it can really change how you actually um, pull this together in your mind, so that when you're actually working on your number one values all the time, number one, two, and three all the time, you feel amazing when you're moving towards that area. And if you can figure out a way to make it easier for you to feel those feelings, like that you are moving towards it, and not be so hard on yourself. And the example Tony used yesterday was the guy that is the top CEO of the company. He earns like $2 million a year. He has an incredible, productivity. He's a really great leader. He's influential over his people. Yet when asked, are you, do you feel like successful, which was one of his top values, he said no. And why? Because for him, the rule that he uses in his head is, I need to earn over $3.5 million a year. I need to, always have, everything go right. Like, at some point, something doesn't go right and you feel like you're not successful anymore. I mean, I don't make 3.5 million, I'm not successful. It's like a mental problem. And so, it's really important to look and examine at those rules, but that takes examination. And as I have said over and over and over this week, the most critical part of personal development is the last 6 inches, the part between your ears, getting it and understanding that last 6 inches, like how that brain is wired, and rewiring the brain, reprogramming the mind is a challenge. It is something that, we do our statement and self-confidence formula, and people ask me all the time, like, how long does it take to rewire that brain? And theoretically, you can change a habit in like 27 days or 25 days. And some people say 90 days. But to actually rewire the brain, yeah, unless it's at an extreme emotional impact. Like sometimes people have extreme emotional impacts, like they have a heart attack and they die. Um, and they can, like, literally, it blows up the mental condition, and literally not by any other reason, but just emotionally, they get so emotional, it just explodes the synapses, and then they reassemble it in a new meaning of life. But those are rare occasions, and this is a process of doing this consciously and then turning it subconsciously. So it's rewiring the brain. So we are literally taking this time off this week so you can start rewiring the brain, instead of just keep on going through and learning more, more knowledge, more knowledge, which is meaningless. You're going to put meaning to the knowledge. So that's why, I really felt like we needed to close the day with this last day 10, because this is how to change. And I need you guys to really take some notes, study really carefully yesterday and today if you want, and really start to look over and get your homeworks complete, because we could do all of this knowledge and it's meaningless. But if we turn this knowledge into action and we start rewiring our brain with new actions, wow, the life completely changes and the way you feel changes every day. And if you're feeling happy and bright every day and amazing, your business will change. Yeah, that's everything will change. Your wealth will change, your feeling of success will change, your leadership will change, everything will change. And you know, the example Tony used is the guy said, every day above ground, it means I'm successful. So like success means any day I'm above ground, like I'm not dead, I'm not buried, I'm successful. That is a good day. And to be grateful every day, grateful, like start your day with grateful. Start your day, like have a habit of this success. End every day with good job, good job, good job. No matter how minimal your good job was that day in your mind, that you only focus on the good job. That's it, no more. And that takes leadership, leadership of self, leadership in your mind. So today, you know, this is kind of really nice that Tony actually on day 10 recaps all of the process, because this is the process that we are doing. And the rest of actually the days are, you know, details, but in the same, these are the broad and main concepts. So anyway, I think you guys will really enjoy today, and that's why I wanted to end with today. And we're going to do this one more time. So it's worthwhile completing all of the work, because if you're going to lead a team, having a deep understanding, meaning a personal understanding, a mental, like the last 6-inch understanding of this process is really the key to lead a team of 10. Now, this week, we also want you guys to lead a team of 10 coming into the next Tony Robbins series, and then also bringing at least 10 to the convention. So this is a really great opportunity for you to practice your leadership with your 10, and then bringing them to the convention. We're going to do a lot of things that are outside of the actual seminar work that New Skin is providing. We're going to do some extra events. We're going to do morning warm-ups. We're going to do maybe even a workout one day. So, you know, a lot of things that I do when I go to the convention every year, we're going to try and replicate that online the best way we know how. So we'll dance around together. We'll turn on our cameras. All of the practice of Tony Robbins that we're doing is, you know, very important, so that we can make this the most special convention. So there is a reasoning behind what we're doing right now. And I want you guys to really take some time today to really study and understand. So again, you're going to write the values that you're moving towards, the rules that you use to evaluate, the questions you ask, and asking good questions. So try to ask yourself good questions, so that you can feel good all the time. And number 2, the values that you move away from. So, those could be like frustration, anger, uncertainty, pain, humiliation, apathy, feeling depressed, rejected, resentment, overwhelmed, loneliness, worry, sadness, boredom, self-pity, jealousy, like I don't like those. I wanna, when those are really things I move away from. And then, how do you change those states? And, what rules do you use to establish that you are in those states? So, Tony has actually a part of his lecture of turning frustration into fascination. It's, to be able to see frustration in a different way, like I said, like on a plate over there. This has helped me so much in my life to be able to put the frustration down away from me on a dinner plate way over there, and then look at it so I can see it and I can study it, but not from a feeling standpoint. Like I'm so frustrated. No, that's really frustrating. I can look over there and say, that's really frustrating. You know, now that takes time to reprogram the brain. Imagine how long it took me to reprogram my brain, probably a year to get, to turn rejection, to change the mental process of rejection, that every no is one step closer to the yes. There's even books on just that process, like Go for No is, a book on the idea of turning every no into a step closer to yes. And so imagine putting 10 beans in your pocket. Every time you get a no, you transfer the bean from left to right. And, you're one step closer to your yes. You get 9 no's, you are going to get a yes. I mean, like that's bound to happen. And you get excited and more excited every one you get closer. Instead of feeling more and more rejected, move towards feeling more and more excited. Turning fear into power, so if you move away from fear, you step into your fear. That's, you step into it. Like I don't know if I can do a presentation. This is difficult. And then you step into that. You step into it. I don't know if I can end world hunger. You step into it, stepping into what you fear. And, that was not an easy process for me. I mean, it didn't start there. I remember the first time I just knew something weird was going to happen, like something bad was going to happen. And I remember calling Patty Acosta and saying, Patty, I'm in Oregon. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. I don't know why. There's no I wasn't faced with a physical illness or nothing like that, but something bad is going to happen tomorrow. And I need you as part of my mastermind to come to Oregon. She said, where are you? I go, I don't really know. I don't even know what airport is near here. I mean, I really said, but you need to be here. And so, as part of mastermind, she got on a flight, was there by 6 o'clock in the morning, by 8 o'clock, was in the meeting room with me, sitting in the back of the room. When I sat in the front of the room, as I was just about ready to start, I saw her enter the room in the back of the room. And I had no idea what was going to happen. It was the first time to meet this incredible leader. This leader had built her Blue Diamond distributorship in one presentation. Blue Diamond, 271 LOIs. She's a kind of a spiritual leader. She led a meditation center. She was doing a lot of online activities. And she had, this was the first time I was going to actually meet her. I trained her team, but never met her. And she was going to speak this morning. So when she came up to the front of the room, she said, let me introduce you to a man that's going to end world hunger. And she said a few more things about that. And then she said, Alan Nagao, come up here. And I'll tell you what, I was glued to my seat. I was literally bolted, like somebody put sheet metal screws from the bottom of the chair up my butt. And I was stuck. I couldn't, all I could do the whole time was, oh my God, what was that? Huh? I cannot stand up to an introduction like that. I don't know what to do. And, you know, within like, everybody's clapping. I mean, like there was a room full of people alive. And then there's the internet. All of the internet is in front of us with big, like movie cameras and everything, like television news cameras. And I mean, really nice setup in this room. And I'm like just sitting there. I'm just dumbfounded. And, you know, within a few minutes, Patty comes running up. She goes, Alan, stand up. Just stand up. I go, did you hear what she said? I can't stand up for that. She goes, just stand up. It's okay. Don't worry. Just stand up. I cannot. And my head was just this way the whole time. No. And she said, just stand up. Just stand up. Stand up. She kept on saying that. So finally, I kind of stood up. People were cheering, and I got up to the front of the room, and I'm like, wow, that was an incredible introduction. You know, it is one of my values, one of my goals to do something about world hunger. But I never thought of ending world hunger complete. Maybe I did think about it, but I never thought it was me. And, you know, I mean, but I started to talk about my dream. And that day, I wouldn't say I stepped into my dream. I did not step into it, but I took a move towards it. And that night, the whole night, my head was like this. I slept, my head going back and forth, like, no. The whole night. I mean, it's like rewiring the brain. Like, it's very, very challenging. And in the end, it was a powerful moment in the morning when I finally decided I can take 10%. Oh yeah. Patty Acosta is on the phone. Can you let Patty bring her up to co-host? Eric, can you lift Patty? Yeah, there she is. Hey Patty, hi, how are you?
Here is your mastermind have heard you.
We're on the last day of Tony, but I thought I'd share. This is about values and things that you move away from and stepping into your fears. Tell us what you know about this, or about what we're talking about.
Oh, Vizcachito, I love all what you had said. It's been amazing. I'm so happy that you've been doing this process of 7 days, because and realizing many things like this, especially in this pandemic, that we've been growing so much. And you know that we are growing so much because all what you taught to us, this is the result of what you've been teaching to us during 10 years. But I think more than that is a decision, because it doesn't have to take that long, you know. Like Philip Chan says, a decision of 1 minute, you know, to completely decide to change your life. And today it's been incredible, because yesterday I saw a movie that I want to recommend it to you and everybody. It's called Change, it's called The Chief, for Dr. Weiner, you know, the famous writer.
And it's called The Chief, like
Yeah, it's about change, but it's in YouTube, and it's called The Chief. Dr. Weiner. Let me look here.
If you could type it into the chat later, that would be good.
Yeah, just one moment. I will put it there. It's called The Chief Wayne Dyer.
Oh yeah, Wayne Dyer.
Yeah. And I was looking into that movie that I want to recommend it to you and everybody, and it's amazing movie. And I'm being remembered about our topic today, about the stay. That was one of the things, because when I went to Tony Robbins, honestly, la película se llama The Chief. I will put it here in the chat. Just one moment.
And it's in Spanish translation?
Yeah, if you put, I will put, I don't know if I can put here. Just one moment. I don't know if I can copy this link to the chat. Just one moment.
So just to notice, you know, that during the mastermind, or in a mastermind, there is power in the group and the mastermind.
Yes,
process.
I got it, Cajito. That is
yeah, you got it.
Because the movie is in English, but if you put The Chief of the author in Spanish, you will find the subtitles. And I was looking into the movie, and I was remembered when I went to Tony Robbins, honestly, what I realized, it was that all the stuff that he was teaching to me, I already learned from you. So Tony Robbins was teaching about statement, about the confidence formula, all the stuff that I already learned from you. But one of the things that you told me to, but it came to my mind more from the Tony Robbins training, was the how you handle the state. And that's really important. So I've been talking a lot with Andres about that, how you can change your state in 90 seconds. Means that all the time you are happy, with enthusiasm, and the movie talks about how you connect with the source. So I remember when I asked you how you can work so hard without feeling tired one time, you know, and then you say, Patty, if you are connected with the source, if you are connected with God, you are not gonna feel tired. And I think that's what I'm being feeling right now, that I feel really like a good connection with God. Today I was doing something in the morning when I wake up, you know, that our company is all about the good things and not about the bad things. So I was thinking, like, what are the good things, you know, like love, gratitude, loyal, service, edification, persistent, give, being authentic. And what is the bad part, you know, is the being ungrateful, being the hateness, being lazy, procrastinate, criticize, you know, the ego. So the movie talks a lot about the ego. And I realize many of us, we had ego, because people think ego is just about feeling a little bit more than anybody. But honestly, being with the ego is not being authentic. You know, not being, not looking from your best version, not doing your best, you know. So I was remember, I would really highly recommend you to see the movie because it was funny because I saw the movie 2 years before and I remember the movie, but I forgot the message, which is so important, you know. When you connect with yourself, love yourself, you connect with the source, you connect with the divine, the divine force, and that divine force will help you to accomplish every goal. So I know, so on March, I think I wake up, one of the first things is like get out of the comfort zone. And on March, I realized I was in my comfort zone again. So when I realized that, and I saw other Tinalis doing many Tinalis, like I saw somebody in the United States doing 17 Tinalis and other lady doing 5 Tinalis, like what's going on with me? So I read another, I will send it to you here. I read just a short resume, how do you say a short overview of the book of Grant Cardone that is called 10X. And you know what is so funny, Bizcochito? Okay, I will open my camera, but I'm in pajamas, just one moment. I don't know if I can change this. How can I? Okay, here. Look, Bizcochito, remember I always dream to have...
Yo, you're in Miami.
This is my balcony.
Yeah, in Miami.
Okay. And that guy lives in that building. It's called Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone. And he talks about 10X. If you put in YouTube, let me look for that. If you put in YouTube 10X Grant Cardone book, and you put like, ¿cómo se dice resumen, mi amor? Like an overview. It's just
summary,
an audio, of 5 minutes. And just listen to that overview of 5 minutes. The book say, the book say, but the overview say about you need to put your goals 10 times more. So why to go with little goals? You need to put really big goals. And then, but if you put big goals, you have to take more action. So I realized that, you know, like, okay, I need to put big goals. So I went crazy because I went with my goals 10 times more. So whatever it was, my volume, my number of Tinalis, I put it 10 times more. And I realized, okay, now you put your goals 10 times more, you need to take 10 times more action if you wanna do that. And I start really focused on that. And now that was like, I think it was like April, exactly. April, now when I wake up after 5 months, we already, Bizcochito, I already accomplished 5 times more. But I know December 31st, we are going to accomplish the 10 times more. So it was incredible, just little things that you learn, but you need to put in practice. So I learned from that little book. You can look at, I can look here in YouTube and try to send just one moment so I don't get out of the Zoom. I can send the book right now. 10X Grant Cardone resume.
So yeah, I actually copy and paste those links so that I can get them after. So that's really good if you guys want to take these links and copy and paste them later or take a screenshot. I just
send it to you, Bizcochito.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah. It's really good.
So what I say is we need to put in practice, because you say something that is really true today. Say, because if you are just learning and learning and learning and learning, but you don't put in practice, or you don't put your brain like to assimilate that information, it was when I went to Tony Robbins too. You know, I received so much information. So say, oh, but what are the things I'm going to put in practice? So about what you say, like the state. And for me, that's been incredible. And I always talk to Andres because I know I can handle my state right now really good. Like I wake up and I say, thank you 30 times. So I feel grateful. And then I'm already put in practice what you told me, Patty, live your day and as is the first day and the last one. So I try to be happy with everything. And then I'm really organizing my agenda and the time that how many meetings I do to help, even though I'm being really organized, I learn to say no. For example, on Sunday, now I say, no, I cannot do meetings because that's for my day, for my family, because I always say yes, yes, yes before. And now, even though I've been learning to say yes. So Tony Robbins is amazing. I love that. And more than that, Bizcochito, we are going to do a plan that you will see. We are going to create 200 ambassadors before December 31st.
Yes.
New. And I think they are going to be more. You will see what we're going to do. We're going to launch a plan that I wanted to discuss with you.
Yes.
And I decided to donate $10,000 to nourish the children, but I'm going to make with those 10,000, 40,000 donations.
Yes.
I will tell you how, because that's the way that I became chief ambassador. And Andres is in his life changed a lot because he was in depression, a big depression when we start the pandemic, because he lost to travel, so he couldn't believe that he has to stay in a place for more than 6 months. So he got into depression, and the exercise helping a lot to get out of that depression. And if you see Andres, his body is incredible, but his mind is being better too. You know.
Look at my body.
Wow.
I lose a lot of weight.
I know. I can't believe it because it is so good. So Andres is participating in
my muscles. That was the pandemic.
I know. So Andres is participated in a contest. He was already chosen between a lot of people. There are 20 people finalists, and now they need to get just 10 people. You need to put some comments. I put the thing here, and you help me, because he's gonna participate for $10,000, and he's gonna completely donate those $10,000. So we will have $20,000. So we can pay those $20,000 and convert into $80,000 for the kids. But more than that, more than donate, what I'm looking for long-term ambassadors of Nourish the Children. Yes. And I think we can make it. So
I'm working on the Vitamil plan in Vietnam, and I found a really good way to do it. So I'm sure we're gonna do it. I'm sure we're gonna do it. Yeah, by the end of this year, we're gonna have a place.
And guess what? Today I wake up and I find out, and I did with you 2 meditations.
Okay, yeah, the one that I did.
The one that I always do, but I found a meditation that you did for me 4 years ago, when my sister was dying.
Yeah.
And it was incredible because I think that was like from God, because I just went into all my audios that I have, and I found out the meditation, and I was start listening, and then at the end, I was the meditation that you did is when we were in Rome in the Tinelli trip, and when I received that news that my sister was really bad and I need to go back to Colombia, and you need a meditation, but maybe I never heard a meditation until today. But that meditation helped me to understand many things about, like, you told me how she was feeling in peace and completely, and I remember her with a different point of view, you know, with the happiness. But it was incredible because you did the meditation like maybe 10 hours before she died. And that helped me to realize like how we need to, why I see the movie yesterday. And I was talking with one of my best friend, Paola, and she told me to see that movie. And that was a perfect moment because in that movie, I realized so many things. And I realized that we are so grateful to be alive here, and that we need to live every second. And I'm so happy to hear to see so many people in this call and tell you that all of them can be Tinalese, and don't even think to be Tinalese. You are going to be a creator of Tinalese.
Yes.
But more than that, you are going to leave a big legacy. So my life completely changed because 10 years ago, I took the decision to be a Tinalese, like, doesn't matter what happened. But more than that, I think I realized that I was so grateful to find a mentor like you, and that we will help you to end the 10% of hunger. And I realize now that if I create more Tinalese, I know they are going to be chief ambassadors. And the other audio that I found, it was a conference that I did in Thailandia for 1 hour. And I feel so powerful. And I put in my mind that I will be Tinalese Platinum for many years. So I can be more invited to countries. And I know that if we do the plan to create so many ambassadors, we will be more strong to talk about the 1 million distributors that we have around the world. And if just the brand representatives decide to be chief ambassadors, we will make so much impact in the life of these kids. So I just want to really encourage the people that is here right now, more than 200 people, to be ambassadors. If you give, you will receive for sure. If you are chief ambassadors, more. So I just wanted to say thank you, Adam, for all the lives that you've been changed around the world, especially in Latin America, especially to the Latino market and to the Vietnamese market. And all of us, we always talk about our purpose. But as the movie said yesterday, our purpose is to be happy and enjoy and give the best of us. And
how long is the movie? How long is the movie?
Like 2 hours.
Yeah.
To be happy and get out of our egos, get out of our bad things, and just being like our founder says, all of the good, none of the bad. And to serve like you always been served, you know. I know when you say that I was not a goal chief, that I was in the 45 seconds, you say I was a person that need to change a lot of things. And today I just feel so grateful to God to put me this opportunity. Nuskin has been the best blessing that we can have, because Nuskin is just a vehicle in our life, but Nuskin give us all, because give us so much financial abundance. But more than that is in the leaders that we become, you know, and that really we can impact in so many lives. So today I feel more powerful, and I know I need to study more, and I need to be humble, and every day I need to improve 1%, like you told me. So I really want to encourage these people that is in the phone call to put your goals 10 times more. Just put it. That day I thought I was crazy a little bit, but just put your goals 10 times more, and then but take the action 10 times more. If you don't take the action, nothing is going to happen. And that's Samara. The good thing is about, if you don't complete the goals 10 times more, maybe you complete 3 times more or 5 times more, and it's so good. But the good thing is you're gonna feel so happy to take the action. So honestly, fear, the only way that we can kill fear is with action. Because if we are taking action, we don't have time to feel fear. So just be busy, but be busy with a purpose. Because you are busy without purpose. It's not about being busy. It's about to be effective with your time. So we never been more. I had never been seen this opportunity before in my 11 years in Nu Skin. Everybody's growing now with the Latin America market, with that program that we have, that Chile grow 900%, is an opportunity for all of us to be in the list. And more than that, it's an opportunity that we can become leaders to change and help so many wars. So thank you so much, Bizcochito, for all you do. I love you so much. Thanks for being my mastermind. And you know that I will be here all the time for you and for all the things that we have to do. And I feel so happy to see you happy. Love you.
Yes. Awesome, mastermind. Patty Acosta. So, part of the idea with this upcoming 8 days is that we're going to the convention with our 10 people, and we're going to create mastermind in the process. So there is a lot to be said about what we are about to do, you guys. Well, we better get into our topic today with Tony Robbins. And then maybe at the end of it, Eric, we might try to do that little 5-minute Grant Cardone thing, because that might be really powerful, the 10 times. I mean, really, this is a moment of change. Get out of the comfort zone. I know this last week was my chance to get out of my comfort zone, to really reestablish my roots in getting my vitamin plant in Vietnam going. I've taken action every day towards that, and it's been very, very, very happy, super happy. And I've been very busy because, I've been doing a lot of 3-ways and calls in the afternoon, and even missing appointments. I mean, when you don't have much going on, you don't have to have everything so perfectly scheduled. But when you start adding stuff into your schedule and things change, I made mistakes this week too. And, that's part of it. I mean, that's all part of what this is. This is not about everything is perfect. When you change, you do make sometimes more mistakes as well. And, you just you roll with it. You just apologize, whatever you have to do, and then you make it better, and then you go again. So anyway, that's the idea. I think everybody loves you, Patty, with your comments are just fantastic for us for this morning. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys to do that chart. I want to just share my screen real quick. I took a screenshot of his actual chart. So let's see if I can get it for you guys. I just want you guys to take a screenshot of this. Oh, where is it? It's right there. So take a screenshot of this chart, and you guys can blow it up later and look at it carefully, how it's written. But basically, the possibility and what you're going to move towards, what you're moving away from, and the rules that you do, your goals, and the question and virtue. Your 10 times goal is right there, and your questions and virtue is right there. So everything is on that chart. We would like you to
sideways. I think.
Let me see if I turn it sideways. What happened?
Oh yeah, and then
like this.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Well, it's a little. Yeah. You can read it a little better. There you go. I think.
Okay. So take a shot of it, and we can really use this chart to help ourselves. I mean, sometimes the notes in the book just sit in the book, but a chart on a wall really is something you can look at every day and start to work on. That's really what we want to accomplish from yesterday and today's work. Everybody got that? You took a screenshot of it? Okay. So with that, anyway, we're going to go back to Eric. And we're going to share this last audio, really important audio. Take notes. Remember to build your little square, and any super important things that you're going to do, put it into that square, okay? Day 10, right, Eric?
Yeah, the last day.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you have, I only have up to day 6, so.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, you might want to do it.
Okay, I'll do it then. Give me a second. Let me see. I have to share content, right?
Yeah. You have more days than me.
Yeah, there is 30 days on the app, so I have the app, which is actually 20 sessions.
Okay.
How to take complete control of your life. Okay. Is that loud enough for you guys?
Can't hear it. Alan, you got to share again.
Oh, no. So I'm not sharing right now. Start broadcast. Okay.
There you go.
So when you do UPW, you get this series.
Can you believe it? It's already day 10. We're cranking. We're a
So,
third
Kate,
way through the
audio.
program, and our mental diet is moving ahead full speed.
Perfect, Alan.
Welcome back. Yesterday, we talked about the power of values and beliefs, and I dumped a pretty big load on you. In fact, you may have noticed that some of these tapes are going more than the 30 minutes that were originally suggested. Let me just tell you, I'll try and clean that up for you by doing a little less in some places here. Maybe we can do some of these meetings a little bit more rapidly. I also want you to know that there's going to be a major shift now in the program, in that up until now, we've been really laying a nice, strong foundation. What we're going to start doing is the tapes you're going to be listening to, some of them are going to have workshops built within them. What I mean by that is you're going to start doing maybe a little bit more actually during the tape, not just at the end. So you might want to prepare yourself for that from the standpoint of your expectations and your willingness to go for it. And again, some of these tapes will be a little bit more than 30 minutes. Some may be a little bit less. We're going to try and stay as close to that timeline as possible, but we don't want to cheat you out of anything in terms of key information. And if we can do it in less time, we'll do it in less too. Maybe we can pop some of these through in about 20 minutes. Who knows? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's go for it. Today is how to really take control of your life by specifically changing core belief systems, beliefs that are governing and affecting your whole life. Again, yesterday you probably identified a few of these, but what we want to do today is show you a process for actually making that change. And let's do a quick review. What have we talked about over the last 10 days of being here together? Well, one, we've said that really the power to change your life is personal power. Personal power is what creates results, and personal power is the ability to consistently take action, the ability to follow through in spite of fears and challenges and things around you. And we said that in order to succeed, if you'll recall, for repetition's sake and for your memory, you've got to use what we call the ultimate success formula. That is, you've got to know what it is you want in a situation. What is your outcome? And be asking that on a regular basis. 2, you got to use your personal power and take some kind of action. 3, you got to notice whether it's working or not. And 4, if it's not working, you got to be flexible. You simply got to change your approach. Instead of feeling bad about it not working out, try something else. We also talked about the power of role modeling. That is really coming from a place of, instead of reinventing the wheel, finding someone who's already getting the results that you really want in your life and finding out exactly what they're doing and doing some of the same things. That way you know what actions to take. And again, still being flexible along the way. We then talked about what stops us from using our personal power. And we said that what drives all human behavior, if you remember when we talked about on tape 2, are 2 forces, the controlling forces of your life, pain and pleasure. We said that almost everything we do comes out of these 2 things, our need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. And we talked about how those anchors, if you will, or those associations to pain and pleasure literally govern our destiny. You learned about neuroassociative conditioning. You learned that whatever you've been conditioned to feel in your gut, whatever you've learned to associate to things, will determine how you're going to behave. If you've linked pain to something, you're going to try and avoid it if it's massive pain. And if you've linked a ton of pleasure, you're probably going to move towards it. In addition, we found out how anchors are created. How do we get to associate things? We found out that when we're in a peak state of emotion, anything unique that happens around us consistently while we're really in a strong state gets linked up in our head. It gets associated. And sometimes it doesn't always empower us. And we talked about some ways to change some of those anchors, some of those negative associations, and also some ways to create some positive linkages, some positive neuroassociations that would empower your life in virtually every way. We then spent some time understanding what it is you really want in your life. And you found out it's not things, it's not relationships, it's not items, it's feelings, or what we call states. And we spent 2 days studying how to really manage the core of our life, our emotional states. 1, through changing our physical body, changing the way we gesture, the way we breathe, the way we move, our facial expressions, our breathing. And 2, by controlling our mental focus, by noticing what we're focusing on and how we're focusing on things. And we've learned the power of questions. Are you doing what we've asked each day? Are you in fact starting each day with those 5 questions? If not, now's the time to get started right now and consistently do it for the rest of the program. It will be as important as anything else you do, because once you establish this as a habit, you will cause your brain to focus on the most empowering emotions you can have and feel them every single day. In fact, if you do this enough, where you do it every day when you first wake up, pretty soon your brain will get anchored. That waking up will literally fire off the positive feelings of being grateful or excited or happy or whatever feelings you've learned to ask yourself the minute you wake up. They'll literally get linked versus the old feelings of whatever you used to feel when you woke up. In addition, in our last few days, we've been focusing on values and beliefs. And we found that these 2 truly determine specifically how we make decisions, what we do in our lives, and our ultimate destiny. That we have 2 types of values, if you remember. Those values we're moving towards, meaning the states of pleasure we want to get, and those values we're trying to avoid, meaning the states of pain we're trying to do anything to stay away from. And that our brain is always making decisions as to what we should do based on an evaluation of will it mean pain or pleasure and the terms of your experience or your values. And finally, we found out that our beliefs are really the core that determine whether or not we feel like we're meeting our values or not. That we could be successful and not feel successful just based on some of our beliefs or what we called rules. And we learned a little bit about global beliefs. Our beliefs about ourselves, about people, about life, govern what we're willing to notice, what we're willing to focus on, what we're willing to feel in our lives. So those are just a couple of the key elements, just to bring you back up to speed. Again, I'm a big believer in repetition. If I hear something again and again, I'm likely to understand it, and if I hear it enough, I'm likely to use it. And that's my outcome for you. Remember, power is use, not just knowledge. My design of this program for you was designed so that every day you would do something, not just listen passively. And I hope you're doing that at 100% level. So let's go on to the next step. The next step, as I've said, is we want to learn now, how do we change some of our beliefs? Well, it's actually very simple. Because we've laid such a strong foundation, you now know how to change virtually anything. Do you remember the 3 keys to neuroassociative conditioning? We said 1, you've got to get leverage on yourself. You got to get yourself to the point where you absolutely in your gut believe something must change. You must change it, and you can and must right now. Once you're at that point, your brain will find a way. 2, we said you got to interrupt the old pattern of association, the negative one, the one that's limiting you. And 3, we said you got to condition yourself until you have a new association, a new empowering way of feeling or linking things together in your life. We're going to use that same 3 steps in a little bit different context to change our beliefs. How? Well, think about this. Your brain will do anything to avoid massive pain. So here are the steps we're going to use to change our beliefs. Number 1, we're going to identify the beliefs that you really want to change. What are the beliefs right now, the controlling beliefs that are limiting your life most? Beliefs about life, beliefs about people, beliefs about yourself, beliefs about relationships, beliefs about money. What are some of those core beliefs that right now are stopping you from achieving the level of success that you really are committed to? 2, once we identify what those limiting beliefs are, the way we're going to get rid of them is step 2 is we're going to link enough pain to your present limiting beliefs until pretty soon your brain says, I've had it. It's not worth it. There's too much pain here, and your brain will do anything to break the pattern or move you away from it. I want you to know that process of interrupting somebody's pattern, if you just get them to link a lot of pain to something they're presently doing, that will interrupt their pattern simultaneously while it gives you leverage. Does that make sense? Because they used to associate it as being pleasurable or at least being comfortable. Now you've interrupted the pattern. You've changed the way they look or feel about things. So step 1, again, we're going to identify the limiting beliefs. Step 2, we're going to link or get our brain to associate massive pain to our present beliefs so that we feel like we have to change. Step 3, we're going to create a new set of empowering beliefs to replace the old ones. So if you had an old belief that said something like, I used to have one that said, I'm too young. And that was massively limiting my life. It was keeping me from giving 100%. It was keeping me from starting my business. It was keeping me from going out with a woman I was extremely attracted to because I thought, well, she's older than I am and I'm too young for her. All that kind of junk. It was just a total lock, a total set of bonds that were holding me back. So what I did was, 1, I identified it and realized, hey, this really, as simple as this is really slowing my life down. It's holding me back. 2, I began to think of all the places in my life that it was costing me, and not just think about it, but feel it, to feel the consequences. That's the key to making a change with yourself. Get yourself to feel the consequences of your present behavior where it is incredibly painful. So I asked myself questions that would make me focus on the pain that really was there that I was trying not to notice. Till pretty soon, having that belief I could see was incredibly painful for my life. Step 3, I identified a new belief. That new belief became youth is power. And I identified youth is not age, but energy and focus. That as long as I don't care if I'm 95 years old, I'll still be youthful and I'll still have that power because it comes from passion and enthusiasm. So that process is what began to change. So I identified a new belief, and that's exactly what you're going to do. And a new belief is nothing but a new generalized statement. Hey, when you say I'm too young, that's a giant generalization. Too young for what? Now you might say, oh, well, I'm too old. Well, that's also a generalization. Too old for what? You know, Colonel Sanders became a multimillionaire, changed the eating habits of a country with little or no background after the age of 65. So just realize any belief you make is a statement and it's a generalization. So when you make a generalization, you might as well make them that'll empower you instead of disempower you. So as long as we're going to make stuff up, make something up that'll make you stronger and make you go for it more. So youth is power. Now, by the way, at some point in my life, I might say maturity is power. Who knows? You know, I'm sure I'll change. I'll get one that's even more empowering for wherever I am then. See, I don't judge beliefs by whether they're accurate or not. I used to tell people, hey, this is how it is. This is what you must believe because this is how reality is. This is life. And I still sometimes get carried away, but I've, with some maturity through the years, matured a little bit in my view of things. And I've begun to realize that what I believe is absolutely true today may change 5 years from now as I make additional distinctions, as strong as I feel about it right now. I mean, really think about it. Don't you have some beliefs that you used to have, say 5 years ago? Didn't you have some beliefs back then that today you're even embarrassed to admit you believe them? But back then, boy, you knew it was true. Don't you have a belief or two like that? I know I do. So I've learned not to judge beliefs by whether or not they're absolutely 100% accurate. I now judge them, are they useful? Is it useful to believe this? Because for almost every belief, there's usually an exception. So as long as I'm going to do that, let me just make sure it's useful. That is, that it empowers me and the people that I'm in a relationship with. So key core belief you can change to is anything that's a statement that empowers you. So youth is power. Age is power. Maturity is power. Whatever it takes, create that there. Here's step 4. After you've identified the new belief you want to install, all you have to do is link massive pleasure to using it. How do we do that? Well, we're going to do it simply by thinking about the positive consequences, how our life will be enhanced by adopting this belief. And we'll look at it in virtually all the areas that are important to us. God, by having this belief, how does it affect my relationships? Well, it makes me more outgoing. It makes me more playful. It makes me a little more outrageous. It makes me stronger. It makes me closer to people. It takes away a lot of my fear. What does it do in your business? Well, in business, it allows me to communicate what I really feel is absolutely right at the moment. It allows me to speak up in those key business meetings. It allows me to go for it in this particular area. I no longer feel leashed by this other situation over here. What else does it do? Well, over here, it allows me to be a better role model. And you'll go on and on and on until your brain links so much pleasure and new belief. Guess what happens? In the end, your brain is real simple. It says, I don't want the pain of that old belief. I want the pleasure. And it will install a new pattern. And that's the final step. Step number 5. You will condition yourself over and over again to think of this new belief and feel phenomenal. Think of this belief, feeling incredible, think of the belief. Feeling incredible, think of the belief. And you will literally, like Ivan Pavlov, condition yourself over and over again till when you think of this belief, it creates power and pleasure and happiness and excitement. And you'll just do it by rehearsal over and over again, thinking about all the great results continuously for 5 or 6 minutes as fast as you can so that your brain links these things together. Now a new belief is installed. Hey, when you talk to most people about beliefs, they think, oh my gosh, well, you just can't teach an old dog new tricks. You're right, if you don't get any leverage on the dog, but get out a big stick and get out a big carrot, and I can tell you one thing, you can teach any dog new tricks no matter how old they are. Now, for some people, it takes a bigger stick. That is, they need to get to the point where they believe this must change. And older dogs sometimes don't get to that point as quickly as younger dogs sometimes because they haven't been conditioned to be as flexible. But some people do. And so my point is you can do it with anybody and you can change yourself. Changing your beliefs is as easy as going on a computer and changing files. It's literally that easy, but that isn't easy if you don't know how to do it, is it? If you just go there and you don't know how to use the computer and you go banging along on that thing, you're right. You could be here for years and never change files, never get the result. And that's the problem. People say, well, I've never done it in the past. Let me give you a belief that I've already alluded to several times that I would highly encourage you to adopt. The past does not equal the future. The past does not equal the future. Gosh, if you want to know a core belief that's enhanced my life, that's one of them. I came from the place in the past where, well, gosh, I've never been able to do it before, so I can't do it now. Garbage. Even if you tried something a moment ago, remember this. Even if you tried it a moment ago and it didn't work, don't say, well, I already tried it, it didn't work. It didn't work a moment ago. Try something a little bit new and see if you can pull it off now. That's really enhanced my life because otherwise what we do is give up. What if Thomas Edison came from the frame the past equals the future? He tried 9,999 times to create an electric light bulb and it didn't work. He would have just given up. He would have said, oh, gosh, there's plenty of references in the past that this will never work. But see, people that produce results understand the past is the past. It can give me learning and distinctions, but it does not control my present or my future. All it is a reference, and it isn't necessarily an accurate reference. See, you want to learn from the past, but you also want to learn from the present, and you want to create a brighter future. Change your core beliefs. Let me offer you real quickly a few other core beliefs that affected my life. Another one for me that changed me completely was adopting a belief that says there is always a way. If I'm committed, there is always a way to create a result that I'm committed to. What do I mean by that? That means no matter what's going on or how impossible things look, I have this belief, and it's a gut level belief that says if I'm committed, there's a way to turn this around. There's a way to make this happen. There's still a way to make it happen. Now, it might require a lot of money or time or outrageousness, but there is a way. Now, I know this belief isn't accurate all the time, but it's a great generalization to live by. It's enhanced my life well beyond most people. Hey, when $250,000 got embezzled and my company was $758,000 in debt, everyone around me was asking one question: how long before we have to go into bankruptcy? Or which bankruptcy court are we going to go to? Or how will we survive? I did not ask those questions. I got very angry at first, but after I got off that and turned it and started turning into a learning experience, my whole focus was, what do we need to do to make this thing work? Why did I ask that question? First of all, by asking, what do we need to do to make this thing work? I started to get answers, and I figured a way, what do we need to do to turn this around? And I started finding out how to turn my company around. In addition, though, that question came because I have a belief that says there's always a way. When everybody else said there's no way, including my own accountants, everybody around me, they said, you're going to have to go bankrupt. I said, look, there is always a way if I'm committed. I am committed. I will find a way. and I ask better questions. Are you following me on this? Core beliefs are the crux of your life. So I want you to identify a list of beliefs that right now are limiting you. And I think you may have done that yesterday, but if you haven't, now's the time to do it. You may need to stop the tape now. But what I want you to identify is find 2 core beliefs to start with. You can do this as many as you want after this, but 2 beliefs that are really limiting your life. I'm not smart enough. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have enough energy. I'm not healthy enough. People are mean. People are vicious. I can't do it because I'm a man. I can't do it because I'm a woman. I can't do it because I'm black. I can't do it because I'm white. I can't do it because I'm brown. I can't do it because I'm a Christian. I can't do it because I'm a Martian. Whatever it is, come up with what it is that you think you can't do things for, or the thing that's stopping you, and identify 2 of them now, right now, and write them down as just a single sentence. 2 core beliefs that are limiting your life. Stop the tape right now and jot them down. Put them in your success journal if at all possible. Go ahead and do it now, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
I'm going to stop for a second so you can write it down. Okay, beginning.
Okay, welcome back. You should have 2 beliefs written down in a sentence form. Again, like, I don't have enough money, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not strong enough, or whatever it is, but make it one sentence. Or, if I had more money, then I could succeed. If you used a rule type of belief, okay? You get the format. Now, what do we do to get rid of this? Well, we've already done step 1. We have identified the belief that we need to change. We got to go now to step 2. And we're going to do step 2 and step 3 and step 4 and step 5 together. And we're going to do it through a metaphorical process I've created. That sounds like a pretty complicated approach to things. Actually, it's pretty simple. By metaphor, I mean story. There is a story that I once watched that gave me a great role model for how to change people, and it really governed me, and it's a story I know you know. It's called A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Sure enough, here is a perfect example of how to change somebody who didn't want to be changed. See, it's easy to change people that want to change. By watching this film, I developed a technique I now call the Dickens pattern, and it's one of the most powerful ways I've found to change people's beliefs and their behaviors. What basically it does is, do you remember the story? Here was a guy who had no desire to change, right? In fact, in his mind, he was successful by being the way he was. He had linked up in his head that the reason he made money is because he was such a horrible person. The reality is that was like saying, do you remember the story we talked about earlier about the knight, where people linked up my microphone being the knight? It wasn't the knight. But people sometimes in their lives link up things and go, I'm successful because of this. He wasn't successful because he was mean. He was successful for other reasons. But beyond all that, he didn't want to change, and he could prove to you he didn't need to, okay? But in one night, even though he didn't want to change, his whole world changed, didn't it? All his core beliefs and his behaviors. How? Well, 3 neuroassociative conditioning specialists showed up in the middle of the night. 3 knackers. 3 ghosts, if you will. And what did these 3 ghosts do? Well, they came in and used some neuroassociative conditioning, some NAC on this man. How did they do it? Number 1, they got leverage. How? They got him to experience, not tell him. Now notice the difference. They didn't tell him. They got him to feel and experience massive pain and relate that to his present beliefs and behaviors. Isn't that what they did? And they did it in 3 ways. They had him go to his past and experience all the pain that he had in his past because of those behaviors. They then brought him to the present and got him to link all this present pain he was getting because of this pain that he wasn't focusing on, pain he'd been trying to delete in his life and not notice so he could stay the way he was. And then they took him to the future where it really got compelling. And there they got him to feel ultimate pain, the ultimate pain his life would have because he lived this way. Well, between those 3 people in one night, they linked so much pain, he would do anything to change. They not only got leverage, but if you link, again, enough pain to something, that interrupts somebody's pattern instantly. You don't have to work on any other pattern interrupts. Do you know what I'm saying? In other words, he used to link in his mind, being mean means being rich. Well, when you have that much pain, not only did they get leverage where he felt like he must change, but it interrupted his pattern. His brain said, hey, being mean means pain. So then all they had to do was give him a new association. And remember, if you interrupt somebody's pattern, they're going to look for a new pattern. In other words, once you break that pattern, there's a vacuum. And that vacuum for him was, oh my gosh, they said, boy, you better treat people well. And he went out and started treating people well, and he got all the joy, didn't he? He woke up the next morning so lucky to be alive. He started giving. People started loving him, and he started linking up. Boy, giving means pleasure. Not giving means pain. His life changed. It's called the Dickens pattern, and we're going to do it. Here are the key elements. 1, you got to be willing to experience some pain. I know that doesn't sound too terribly exciting, and we have a very short period of time to do this on this tape because they've already been going for some time, but I'm going to give you a mini version of what I do with people in seminars. And what we're going to do, though, is you've got to be willing to really associate and feel the amount of pain that you have right now and or will have because of these limiting beliefs. Does that make sense? So I can't do it for you, not here anyway, not over this tape, but you've got to do it to yourself. I'll guide you through asking you some effective questions. Then, once we've gotten you to experience pain, primarily we're going to focus on the future because we don't have a lot of time to do what I call a full Dickens. We're just going to use the future, okay? Once we've done that, your brain will be motivated to make a change. That's where we're going to create a new belief, and we're just going to have you see what the positive consequences are and use those by conditioning. So let's begin Dickens. Here's what I want you to do. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale slowly, and I will tell you that if you're doing this in your car, this is not the ideal place to do it. If you're going to do this in your car, I would do it now, and you might want to do this again at home later on. It can be done in the car. Just make sure that you're paying attention to your driving as well, because this may internalize some feelings for you. So again, ideal place would be to stop, pull over, and take 8 minutes to do this with me, or wait till you get home and do this. But make sure you follow through. Don't learn all this stuff and then not apply it. Make sure you follow through and use it right now, or you commit to a time today where you're going to do this Dickens pattern. All right, let's begin. Take a nice deep breath in again. Exhale slowly. Close your eyes. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to think about these 2 limiting beliefs that you have in your life. These 2 beliefs that have really held you back in various areas. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine how much they weigh on your life and feel that weight on your body. And as you do, I want you to think about what are the consequences. By having these beliefs, what does it cost you? What does it cost you in the past, and what is it costing you now in your life to have these beliefs? In other words, what are you losing because of these beliefs? What are you missing out on? And be honest with yourself, and just don't go, well, I'm missing out on some great relationships. Stop and think about specific relationships that maybe you've never looked at it before, but it's costing you a level of love, or rapport, or connection. And feel how that feels to feel that loss. Again, I'm counting on you to create the real pain in your body, otherwise we're wasting our time. Really be willing to feel it. Use a lot of pain in the present to have a lot of pleasure in the future. That's what we're asking you to do. Now, what is it costing you financially? Do these beliefs limit some of the choices you make that affect your finances? Do these beliefs affect your willingness to take some risks, to invest, to go for it? How do these beliefs cost you in your own self-esteem? Having these beliefs, what does it do to your self-confidence? Does it create doubt or strength to have these beliefs? How do you feel about yourself when you live by these beliefs? Do you feel powerful or weaker? How do these beliefs affect your energy level? They create energy or take energy away? What do you think of when you think of yourself living by these beliefs? What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror and realize that you've allowed these beliefs to control you? Say it to yourself. See it. How does your face look when you think about living with these beliefs and the weight of them pulling you down? Feel how it feels. What kind of role model are you for your children if you have children? What kind of role model are you for anybody? How does it affect you spiritually, your relationship with your Creator? Think of what all the costs are for you physically, financially, emotionally, socially, spiritually. All of the areas of your life. Now do this. Take the weight of all of these limitations, all the things you're missing out on, and I want you to pull yourself into the future. And as you go into the future, I want you to step 5 years into the future and make sure you drag with you all of the limiting feelings and experiences and limitations that these beliefs will create for another 5 years, stacking one atop another, like a giant snowball getting bigger and bigger and bigger, pushing you further down. And I want you to step into the future 5 years from now, and with you, bring all the things you've missed out on, all the pain, all the frustration, all the anger that these beliefs have generated through time, all the things you've given up on. Bring all of that with you. Drag it with you now 5 years in the future. I want you to actually feel yourself going 5 years into the future now. And as you arrive 5 years in the future, I want you to look in the mirror. Now, if you don't think you're good at visualizing, feel as if you're looking in the mirror, or talk to yourself about these things. And as you come to the mirror, take a look at your face. And how do you look 5 years from now, having lived with all these limiting beliefs and not changed at all? What's the price you've paid? Do you look younger or older? More alive or less alive? More energized or less energized? Think about it. Feel it. Actually be there. What's been the price in your self-esteem? How do you feel about yourself, having lived for 5 years of these limiting beliefs and not changing them? What's been the cost to you? That's right. What do you like physically? Did it cause you to gain weight because you didn't like the way you felt, so you tried to distract yourself through food or smoke or drink? What's happened to your physical energy and flexibility? What has it done to you in business or in your career? Have you really gone as high as you could have, or what have you missed out on in your career because you had some of these limiting beliefs? What does it cost you? What's been the price of these beliefs? Again, feel it. Don't just think it. Feel what it would feel like if you're there right now and you paid that price for 5 long years. 5 years of those limitations. 5 years of giving up your power. What's been the price in relationships? Are there any relationships that you're no longer in because of this? What does it cost you in your emotional connection with the people you care about? What's it cost you financially for 5 years? What are the things you didn't do that you should have, and you didn't because of your fears about these beliefs? What's been the cost in your whole life? What do you say to yourself as you see yourself 5 years from now in the future with these limiting beliefs controlling your life? Feel it. Now step in the future 10 years from now. Drag 10 years of disappointment with you. 10 years of one failure building on another. 10 years of all the limitations of these beliefs, all the things you've missed out coming with you. 10 years in the future, and now look in the mirror and notice how you feel. You feel older or younger, more alive or less alive? Does your body feel heavier or lighter? Do you feel stronger or weaker? What do you say to yourself as you look at yourself after living this way for a decade, 10 years? What did you give up? What did you give up emotionally? How much frustration have you experienced for 10 years because of these beliefs? How many things were you afraid of? How many things did you not do? How many things did you give up on? How much pain have you experienced because of these lousy little beliefs? What's been the cost for you in your relationships now? Have you even given up on having that level of passion you know you deserved back then? Who's in your life? How do your friends think of you? How do you think of yourself? What's happened to you spiritually? What's happened to you physically? What's happened to you financially and emotionally? What's been the price of these beliefs? Feel it. Feel the pain and make it real for yourself. Step 20 years into the future now and drag 2 decades, 20 years of pain with you all the way, and feel all the things you've missed out on for 20 years culminating on your back. Feel it. Feel all the things you gave up on, all the things you missed out on, all the pain you've experienced because of these limiting beliefs. Look in the mirror and notice what your face looks like, what your body looks like. Are you healthy or not? Are you fatter? Do you feel lighter or heavier? Stronger or weaker? More alive or less alive? More excited or totally depressed and disappointed? Where are you? What's happened to you? What price did you pay for these lousy beliefs? What did it cost you in your relationships? What did it cost you in your career, in your business? What didn't you do because of these beliefs? What didn't you try? What didn't you go for? What does it cost you physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially? What does it cost your family life? What do you say to yourself after 20 years of living this way with these limiting beliefs? Was it worth it? Feel the pain and make it real. See all the prices you've paid, all the things you've given up, all the things you've missed out on your life. How do you feel about your life if you live this way for 20 years? And decide if you're willing to live this way. Are you willing to have this be your destiny? If this is painful enough that you are absolutely committed to never living this way again, your brain will change your beliefs. If not, you better keep working on this till it's really painful. Do whatever it takes. Ask yourself questions, feel the pain. If you're committed to never having this happen in your life, know that this is only the shadow of the future, as they said, and that this can be changed by you changing your beliefs. Come backwards in time, back to today, and realize that none of this has happened yet, fortunately. Come all the way back to today and realize none of this has happened yet. It doesn't have to happen if you make some changes. And as you do, you may notice that if you did this and you really were feeling the feelings, you may have been bent over as you got older and as you felt more of the weight of those problems. And as you come back today, you may find yourself sitting or standing more upright, breathing more fully, feeling more alive. And you might want to shake your body out and interrupt that pattern, get out of that state completely. Change your physiology, change your state by moving your body around, bounce up and down, move around, breathe, and get completely out of that state. Now, your brain should be at this point very motivated to change these beliefs. It should have associated enough pain. So what do we need to do? Real simple. We need to get ourselves in a great state and decide what are two beliefs that we really want that would empower us. So right now, change your body radically, and I want you to stand, breathe, start to move the way you would if you felt totally energized, totally excited, totally passionate. I mean, move your body. You go, this is weird, Tony. Doesn't matter. Go for it anyway. Move your body. Breathe. Gesture. Express yourself the way you would. Start talking out loud more rapidly, more quickly, till you can put yourself in a place where you feel excited. Because right now, I want you to put yourself in a state like this gentleman Scrooge was in when he realized it was still Christmas morning and he had a chance to change it all. That level of excitement and energy, create it in your body right now, whatever it takes. And as you create it, start thinking of what is the opposite of your old beliefs. If you were going to change these two beliefs and install two new beliefs that were going to empower you, what would those two new beliefs be? If you're going to make them in one sentence, like mine was, if you recall, hey, I'm too young, I went to youth is power. I don't have the degree, I went, thank God, I got a PhD in results. I haven't been conditioned on what to believe or not to believe. I can make my own choices. Make it a sentence. I got a PhD in results. I don't have any money. I have as much money as I'm committed to making. I have as much money as I need as long as I get committed. I have as much money as I need by developing a strategy. Whatever belief it is, make it a phrase. Whatever it is, make it something that empowers you. And in this state right now, I want you to write down two sentences, two new beliefs to replace the old ones. What would they be? Write them down right now, quickly. Sit down and right now come up with two different sentences. What would you replace the old beliefs with? Two powerful sentences that when you say them, you think, if I had that belief, it would really empower my life. What would be the antithesis of your old belief? Go for it. Write it down quickly, quickly. If you need time, stop the tape right now and just take a moment and write down these two new empowering beliefs. Go for it.
Let's stop for a second. Okay, starting again.
Welcome back. You should now have 2 empowering beliefs that are stated in sentences that are very clear and hopefully stated in the positive. In other words, if you had an old belief that said, well, I'm ugly, and you've changed a new one to, I'm not that attractive, that's not a strong enough new belief. Make it stated in the positive, okay? Now, all we've got to do now to install it is get us to associate in our own minds pleasure to having it and then condition that till it stays. We've identified what the new belief is. How do we do it? Same way we pulled out the old one. We're going to go back to Dickens. We're going to start to get the result we want. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Close your eyes quickly. And let's just have some fun. It'll be easy to install because there's a vacuum. There's a hole where your old belief used to be, and now you can fill it with this new empowering belief. So what I want you to do, real simple, is this. I want you to imagine right now that you have lived with these new beliefs for 5 years. In other words, we're going to step 5 years into the future, but this time, as you go to the future, it's a new destiny. I want you to notice the positive, powerful impact that these new beliefs have had on your life. In other words, where are you now in your life after 5 years of living with these beliefs? What have you gained? How is your life greater? How is your life enhanced? Go ahead, step into the future, and with you, take all the successes that you've built day after day after day because of these new beliefs for 5 whole years. How's it enhanced your personality? How's it strengthened your confidence? What has it caused you to really go for? Take a look in the mirror 5 years from now as you arrive there, living with all these great beliefs for 5 years, and take a look in the mirror. Are you smiling or frowning? Do you have lots of energy or a little bit of energy? Do you feel younger or older? Do you feel more excited about life or less? Take a look at your level of confidence and your ability and your emotions. Do you feel more joy and pleasure and passion or less? How about your relationships? Is there more drive and excitement and love there or less? What's happened to your ability to really impact the people around you in a positive way because of these empowering beliefs? Hey, what's happened to you financially? Because of these beliefs, did you try some things you wouldn't have tried before? Did you hear some things you wouldn't have heard before? Did you learn some things you wouldn't have learned before? Did you invest in some things you wouldn't have invested in before? What's happened there as well after 5 years of living with empowering beliefs? In addition, what's happened to you physically? Do you feel more healthy, more alive? Do you have more energy? What do you like in your physical weight? Have you learned to change your state without having to just use drugs or alcohol or food or something else? Take a good look. What do you like spiritually or in your relationship with your Creator? What kind of role model are you for your kids or for your friends? What do you say to yourself after living this way for 5 years? Notice how it feels. Feel it right now. Now, step 10 years in the future, and I want you to feel what it feels like to live with these beliefs for a decade of living the way you absolutely know would create success, a decade of living by these empowering beliefs, a decade of having your personality influenced and impacted by them. And as you arrive 10 years in the future, again, look at your face. Are you more alive or less alive? Do you have more energy or less? Do you look younger or older? Do you stand differently than you did even 10 years ago? How do you feel about yourself having lived this way for a decade? What do you say to yourself? What's your level of confidence, passion, aliveness, playfulness? That's it. What's happened in your relationships? Have they enhanced and gotten even better and stronger, or are they weakened? What's happened in your relationships with your children if you have them? What kind of role model are you? What do you like personally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, intellectually, and socially? How is your life greater? How is your life enhanced for 10 full years? And now here's the kicker. Go to year 20. Step in the future, 20 years in the future, where you've lived this way for 2 decades, where this is really who you are. There's no question anymore. And feel how good it feels. Feel the power and the maturity and the distinctions and the success and the happiness and the joy and the pleasure and the security and the adventure. Feel it all inside of you right now. Look in the mirror and notice what your life is like. What do you say to yourself having lived this way for 20 years? Look at all your relationships, your business, your career. And again, notice and feel how good it feels to have lived this way for 20 years. And decide, for a moment, I want you to look at both destinies, the one you were heading on and the one you're on now. Decide, side by side, which one are you committed to living? I know it's a tough choice, but give it a shot. I think it'll be pretty clear. Once you decide, come back to today being excited, knowing that this destiny that you're now on track for hasn't happened yet, which means you get to look forward to it every single day just by having these new beliefs. Come all the way back to today and feel the excitement you can have about your future, the excitement you can have about your present. And when you finish this tape, write down your success journal. Write down a paragraph or 2 or 3 as to how each one of these beliefs, how specifically will this belief, new one you've installed, enhance the quality of your life now. That's your only assignment for today. And when you come back tomorrow, we're going to work on creating a compelling future, understanding the power of why. Till then, again, live with passion.
All right. Woo. So, wow. You know, the ghost of the past, present, and the future. And then the future. And you know, we're always in a growth process. At least I am. I'm you know, not always, but you know, like going through a course like this, getting 100% participatory really can affect you in a positive way. So can you guys share some of the beliefs that you are changing, the old belief? What is the old belief that you're changing? Yeah, fears. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, a lot of really amazing things. No money, no time. Believing in yourself, not good enough, not organized, not the right leader. Yeah, for me, the one that really affects me is I don't have enough time. And so what happens when you really have like this belief that I don't have enough time? Of course, you create not enough time, but you also give up things. And the second one is I have to work hard to get things that I want or get things done. Like I have to work hard. It's really the belief I have to work hard in order to, you know, achieve the things. And so um, two ways that has affected me in my past. I mean, I have made a lot of money and then I've like then stopped working and then I lost all my money. I mean, that's not a good idea. I mean, like it's have to, the idea of have to work hard, not I get to work hard or, you know, and there's a lot of support. There's a lot of ways to work smart and to have a lot of things done through the mastermind or through the power. So just those two beliefs really cause me to feel sometimes I'm not a good dad, and And that's really painful, And so, of course, I've paid huge prices physically, and working hard. Of course, there's a physical price. There's sometimes putting the relationships and emotional things behind me, or like in a lesser priority. And then also financially, like I have enough. And I mean, for most people, they would consider this like super more than enough. But it's not where my goal is yet. And so, yeah, I would love to, you know, have like a huge portfolio of investments and really great success. So like, I mean, my plan is to run for governor in the state of Hawaii. So that's kind of like, it takes a lot of time and focus to get that done. And so it's like that belief is a limiting belief for me, and I need to change it. I need to get rid of it. So yeah, I'm in the same process as all of you. Yeah. And so then like going through the process, and again, one thing to do it in 10 minutes, and it will help us to do it, but how about taking a little bit more time to really put it down, put it on the poster, and let's get this thing done. And with the statement, of, I have time for my dreams, for me, my dreams, my family, and my love. So, and I attract all to help me to achieve the things I want. So anyway, that there is a lot of amazing things that occur with growth processes. And so I hope this series is really good for you. I'd like to take a few minutes to have questions and answers about the series, maybe, or what's coming up in our next run. And I would like to see if you are committed to run a group of 10 on our next round, to be the coach, to help them. Because one of the things we didn't have enough time, I felt like this time, is to get direct coaching. Like we had so many people that it was not possible to answer all your questions. But I believe that if you can run 10, if we can set up in groups of 10, after the events, we're going to break up into rooms. And Eric, if you can take us a photo screenshot of who wants to run a room for the next set, then we will form those groups. And if you can put the names of your people so that we can organize a spreadsheet, and then we will give Eric that spreadsheet. So Tracy is gonna organize all of that for us, my assistant, so that we can have rooms, we can break out into the rooms during our seminar and during UPW, anything that we do, we can have these rooms ready for you guys. So it makes it a lot more possible for us to do some amazing things with our trainings and with our personal development trainings that we are doing in the future as well. So how many of you are committed to have 10 people in your group? Can you please give us your names and your telephone numbers so we can actually get all of that put together in emails? And I'm gonna have you send it to Tracy. So that's team aloha new skin at gmail.com. Can somebody type that for me? and Team Aloha New Skin at gmail.com. And Tracy's phone number is 808-721-8560. We can establish you guys can establish your own WhatsApp groups, and we can work through WhatsApp. I'm developing that process this week so that next week we'll have it intact, and we can send out notices with the links, with the recordings in Spanish and English. And if you're committed to having a group of 10, you got to develop your group of 10, get ready. I'll send you out the first notice, and you guys can actually then start the process of building your WhatsApp group and getting ready for this upcoming one week series. And I think you will find this to be of tremendous advantage to your business as well, because we are going to end with, they don't have to be people in your business. They could be family members or other people that want to learn and be in personal development. But we would like to all go to the convention together at the end. So, if you have 8 out of the 10 going to the convention, that's probably still pretty good. But yeah, if you can get the 10 to the convention, that's the idea. So this is a powerful series, as you guys can see. I want you guys to work on your big poster that you took a snapshot of. Complete the work, go through this change, and start to really visualize the new you. Really see the new belief about you, and start to really establish a powerful way for us to move into our future. So anyway, there's did somebody type in the Tracy's information, teamalohanewskin@gmail.com? Hey Jim, can you type that in, and then Tracy's phone number, 808-721-8560. If you can send your name as a leader, and then that you're going to establish the 10 to Tracy, and then we'll try to capture you guys on a WhatsApp group so that I can send you guys notices, and then you can copy and paste out to your groups. Okay, that's why I need your phone number. Send it to Tracy, and if you texted it in here, you still need to send it to Tracy at teamalohanewskin@gmail.com. Okay, you do need to send it to her, because she needs to build a. You need to be on my list of contacts, so that we can build a WhatsApp group, and then we'll build it from there. We'll go from there. Okay, and if you're not using WhatsApp, make sure you get WhatsApp. Most of you guys are Spanish, so. Yeah, so even if you text it in, please send it to Tracy, okay? teamalohanewskin@gmail.com. Send it over, and we'll put you on the list with your name, your email address, and your phone number to Tracy, okay? Yep, teamalohanewskin@gmail.com, and then her phone number, 808-721-8560. Okay, send it to Tracy at teamalohanewskin@gmail.com. Thank you, Javier. Well, anybody have any questions about what we're going to do, or about the material we covered? Eric, if you can unmute real quick. So allow people to unmute their lines if they want. It's amazing. Yes, it is.
Alan, they can unmute themselves now.
Okay. Anybody want to make any live comments or? You can unmute your mic.
Alan, for those of us that work during the week, is there any way to make up some of the missed sessions?
Yes, because when we do this next round on WhatsApp, we're going to put the links in English and in Spanish.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing, right?
Alan for governor of Hawaii.
Alan for president of the United States.
Hey, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while.
Alan, can you define the dates again? Is it 9/26
Alan
to
for president of the United States.
10/3?
It's going to be basically from, let me go get a calendar out here real quick. So it is September 19th. We're going to have Stephen on. And then we're going to run from the 20th to the 27th. So it's really, it's the event, the first day will be the 20th, getting prepared for the convention, and then we're gonna go right through the convention. So this is like, I mean, like there's gonna be a really, this is gonna be really like intense and powerful. So you're bringing 10 people into the convention as well, yeah. The convention dates are the 24th and 25th, I think, yes?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody needs to be there on the 26th for the last one.
Yep.
Hola Laurita, hola Alan.
Hola.
¿Cómo
Hi,
están?
hi, Alan.
Bueno, yo quiero compartir, la verdad para mí la dinámica fue increíble. Quiero compartirles que me transporté muy bien a cada lugar y fue impresionante porque lloré, o sea, pude vivir la dinámica como si estuviera dentro del entrenamiento y para mí esto ha sido un regalo desde que empezó el entrenamiento. Bueno, yo tomé la clase el domingo pasado. No lo grabamos dentro de nuestro grupo, pero la tomé y para mí ha sido una experiencia impresionante que me ha llevado a estar muy emocionada y pues realmente darme cuenta, seguir dándote cuenta de todo lo que realmente tú deseas cambiar, todo lo que debes cambiar para poder realmente ir a ese siguiente nivel. Y para mí esto ha sido un regalo increíble. Alan, muchas gracias. Creo que este tipo de cosas definitivamente cambian el mundo y nos cambian a nosotros mismos y cambian el mundo y creo que es algo, bueno, lo que está sucediendo ahorita para nosotros a nivel Latinoamérica pues es algo maravilloso, es algo emocionante porque si aplicamos esto que estamos aprendiendo pues vamos a explotar de una manera impresionante y eso para mí es algo maravilloso, es un regalo de la vida. Yo, una de las cosas más hermosas que siento, más bien que he podido recibir en este momento de mi vida con Nuskin es realmente esa transformación como persona. Me siento muy agradecida, muy emocionada con todo lo que he estado viviendo. Creo que cada quien tiene su propio proceso personal. Y definitivamente para mí esto ha sido un regalo y para toda la gente que me rodea. Yo sé que vamos a estar allá en esos grandes escenarios porque pues de una u otra manera estamos muy comprometidos para poder lograr, pero lo único más importante para mí es poder que dentro de este vehículo vamos hacia nuestro propósito definitivo de vida y eso me llena de alegría, de emoción y realmente estamos creando cosas lindísimas, sobre todo por la transformación de vidas que estamos, tanto la mía como la de las personas que nos están, que nos rodean y del equipo, porque estamos teniendo un equipo muy lindo en México, estamos creando cosas maravillosas y ahora en Colombia, en Chile, que es donde también estamos creando gente en Estados Unidos. Y me siento muy bendecida y muy agradecida. Para mí, Nuskin ha sido un regalo en mi vida y para toda la gente que me rodea y que llega a mi vida. Gracias, Alan, porque estamos contigo, eres nuestro mentor. Tú, así ya no nos veamos tan seguido, pero siempre estamos contigo, te estamos siguiendo y tú eres parte de ese regalo que Dios nos ha dado y que ese ángel que nos ha mandado Dios para que podamos realmente desarrollarnos como personas y de una u otra manera ir por ese propósito que es lo que realmente importa en este plano.
That's awesome. I understood 90% of that. That was amazing.
Hi,
That's
Alan.
awesome. Yes.
Alan, hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Alan, well, I would like to thank you especially. I started Nuskin in 2018, and I had a dream one time, and someone told me in my dream that I was going to meet a man that was going to change my life. Well, suddenly in March, I met you, and it's like, wow, this guy is going to change our life. My ego got in my way, and I didn't do Nuskin for the whole year. This year, on February, I went to Provo and went to the company and looked at the company, and Empatia arranged for Antonio Delgado to show me the company. And that really changed me, right? Then suddenly this pandemic came home here, and I started watching the mastermind on Saturdays, because you mentioned that was a good thing to do, right? So then I looked at the book, The Contingency Change of the Multi-Level Marketing, and I started reading it. And I identified myself with George Campbell so much. I had been successful in insurance. I had a good life. I'd done so many things before this, but I couldn't get myself around to doing the business like you were showing us. And part of that was an ego thing, if I'm successful at this, why do I have to do what they say? I can do it my way. And that's wrong. That's totally wrong. Why am I going to create the hot water and the wheel we just created? So, I understood that there was a system that I had to follow. And I decided in June of this year that I'm going to start Nuskin again. And in 2 months, I'm already a gold member and I'm working on my Ruby. I'm so excited, and then, I start developing some habits. I look at Patty when she was talking about the club, the 5 a.m. club. And I says, I'm going to read that book. So, that's duplication. I start reading the 5 a.m. club. Then suddenly, for the last 67 days, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, working out, meditating, lost over 15 pounds. I gained so much weight, and I started reading, and I started with Yvonne, my blind reading club, and it's amazing. So, all the growth, all this energy, all these things. And I promise you and Patty that I am going to be Timely.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. As I said, I haven't seen you for a while, but yeah. Awesome.
Love
you. We love it. Beautiful. Awesome. Anybody else have any comments, maybe about our future, about our what we're doing? That's awesome. Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about the convention and what we're gonna do and during this Tony Robbins series is we definitely want everybody to get ready every day for the Tony Robbins and the convention. We don't have to be like dressed to the nines, but just dressing up, being not in bed, not being in your nightgown, just like get ready for it and do all of that, because we are going to be on camera. We also want everybody to put on their cameras during the next Tony Robbins set, because we can actually do a lot on physiology just by the way we dress, the way we think, is controlled by our behaviors. And so we're going to do some of that kind of work as well during the next set. So this is really an important set, and we're going to be setting some big goals and some big dreams, and why we're going to be doing the things we're doing this year. So make sure, you spend some time, get done with this course. Like, I mean, try to get all your homeworks done so that it's all there. And that way you'll have examples to show. You can show your team, you can take pictures of your notes, of your boards, of all of the things that you guys have worked on. And if you want to add like top 5 or whatever with your group, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, this is going to be an incredible week. So we're getting ready for the convention. This is going to be an amazing week. I just need you guys to build your team this week, so you have your 10 ready to go rock and roll. And then we're going to build that group and then explode into the market. Okay. Well, that's it for today. At least I'm good. Anybody have anything else? Seems pretty good to me.
Alan,
Yes.
¿me escuchan?
Sí.
Hola,
Hola.
hola. Me llamo Nancy
Sí.
Carvajal, soy de Chile, del equipo del doctor Jorge Pérez. Y ya me emocioné antes de tiempo. Muchas gracias, y yo sé que tengo que mejorar muchas cosas y estoy de hace tiempo haciéndolo, buscando eso. Y esta oportunidad tan grande de darnos, para mí es maravillosa. Así que espero un tiempo dar un testimonio grande del cambio real que he tenido en mi vida. Eso, muchas gracias. Y gracias a la gente linda que he conocido acá.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Awesome. It's beautiful. Mucho gusto. So, okay, well, we're ready to go, I guess. Let's get whatever you need to get done. Let's get ready. We'll send you out something in the next couple of days, probably like Wednesday or Thursday, probably like Thursday. We'll send you out something, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll for our 7-day challenge. Javier and Eric, I might need you guys a little bit after this, so we can, and Laura, so we can plan what kind of things we're going to put on video and audio, so that everybody can have the translated things in Spanish for the 7-day course. And then we're going to rock and roll this thing. This is going to be like, it's actually 8 days, yeah, because it's actually Sunday through Sunday. So that's actually 8 days, what we're going to end up doing. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this last extra day. I think it was definitely worth having the extra day in there. And with that, have a great day and aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha, Ellen.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Gracias, Laurita. Gracias, Javier.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias, chao.
Alan, bendiciones a todos.